Hi, welcome to tutorial 7. Okay, we've talked about dimensions, and while we were doing that we talked about text style. So let's do a text style. Okay, DD for dialog box, style, enter. Okay, so that gets us into the text style dialog box. Again, you'll see that AutoCAD came with one standard text style. They're using a font Arial font. Font style is regular. Height is they haven't put in a height. They're expecting you to do it when you use it. Width factor is 1. Okay, let's make a new one. Okay, we can keep it at style 1, but let's call it arch. Okay, for architectural, and let's go 4 inches high, so let's call it arch 4. Okay, automatically it's set as our current. Okay, we can use Arial, we can use any font that they give us here. You can go on to AutoCAD sites and download new fonts and so on. What do they got in here? They got anything that looks like handwritten, Times New Roman. Anyway, let's just leave it at Arial for now. You can go through and fool around with it. Okay, we'll just leave it at Arial. Font style, we don't need it bold, italic, we'll leave it at regular. Okay, here's where we're going to go 4 inches. Okay, and we don't need it upside down or backwards or vertical. Okay, so we go apply. Now remember, this is our current font, so when we do some text, that's what it's going to be. Well, let's do some text, okay? We can just type T for text. Okay, now this defaults to M text, which is multi-line text. We'll do some of that, okay? So specify first corner. They're asking us, how big of a rectangle do you want? And so it shows you ABC there. We're going to do something like 4030 for this window. Okay, so let's go somewhere about there. Gets us into the text editor. Okay, so we're going to go 40. Okay, width first for the window, so it's 4 feet wide, 30, 3 foot high. Okay, if we pressed enter here now, we would just get another space. Okay, so, and same with spacebar. Okay, so I'm just going to click somewhere to get out of it. Okay, text is like everything else. It has a node. If I activate this node and press enter or spacebar twice, you can see it gets me into the rotation, and I'm just going to go 90 degrees. Okay, then I'm going to click on it again. I'm going to turn ortho off, F8, and I'm just going to put it right beside that window. Okay, so I've just annotated that window. Now, we need a few more layers here. Okay, so we'll wait for, oh, that was pretty quick. Okay, new layer, TXT for text. Okay, let's change the color to anything we want. Okay, and that's good. New layer, call it window. Okay, we don't need it green. Let's do a light blue of some sort. Okay. Okay, so we made those 2 layers. We can get out of the layer thing. Okay, I'm going to select, okay, from left to right. I just get all the components of the window. Okay, I'm going to put those on the window layer. Okay, escape out, select my text, and put that, okay, right here on the text layer. Okay, okay, I can copy, okay, this line, okay, from there. Okay, I pressed enter. Okay, and I can put it right there. Okay, highlight it, click twice, okay, to get me into rotate. If I turn ortho on, I can just rotate it like that. I can press M for move. Okay, click it right there. Turn ortho off. Put it right there. Okay, I need to change this text, so I'm just going to go ED, which is edit. Okay, I'm going to click on this, and I'm back into that multi-line text editor, and I'm going to just highlight everything, and I'm going to go 3.0. My door is 3 feet wide. Okay, 6'8" high, 6 foot 8 or 80 inches. Okay, and just click. Okay, now I'm still in edit, and so I press escape to get out of it. Okay, I can make a block B. Okay, this time I'm going to call it window. Okay, pick point is, well, I'm going to be a little more careful. I'm going to press apostrophe to break into the block command. Z for zoom. Okay, get in here real close. Okay, and I'm going to pick, actually, I'm going to pick the middle of this line. Okay, so that's that. Select objects. I don't want to delete. I want to retain. Okay, I don't want to lose the window that I've already drawn. Okay, select objects. Again, with the pick box going from left to right, I select all of those. Now, I also have a little bit of my wall in there. I'm going to leave it. Okay, select. Okay. Okay, now it comes time to insert. I for insert. I can go, you can see I got architectural tick. That's what I did my dimensions with. I have the door from before, and now I have window. Okay, specify on screen where I want it. Okay, scale, I don't need to scale it, but rotation, right now it's at 90 degrees. Okay, and I'm just going to go another 90 degrees. Okay, and okay. You can see how it's turned in the direction I want it. Okay, I'm going to pick, well, we fooled around with that wall. I'm going to pick right there. Okay, zoom in. Okay, and I'm going to move. Okay, that wasn't a very good pick for a window. But anyway, we're done with it now. Okay, let's move from here, and we want to go, what do we want to go? 3 inches. Okay, TR. Now you can see this is a block. Okay. Okay, I'm getting rid of the wall. Not very efficiently. Okay, let's explode. Okay, and then trim. Okay, we'll pick that, and we'll get rid of that. Okay, zoom. Okay, now these are all component parts of a window. When a block comes in, it comes in on, first of all, on the layer that it was built, and secondly as a block. Okay, so if I were to insert the door that we built, okay, so there's the door, and you can see it's on the right layer, but you can also see it's one big block. So if you explode, X for explode, okay, now it's component parts, okay, whatever I click on. Okay, so let's erase this door. Okay, we need this text, so copy. I'm going to take this text because it's going in the right direction. I'm just going to pop it down here, and I'm going to ED it, edit it, and I'm going to say, after I highlight it, 4030. Okay. Okay, what else do you want in here? I think that's about it, eh? For now, good enough. Okay, so we've done, this is our floor plan. Underneath this floor plan will be a foundation, or a foundation plan. So we can P-line, PL. Okay, and let's just pick the outside corners of this. Okay, I'm going to zoom apostrophe Z, and I'm going to get in a heck of a lot closer. Okay, let's click on this corner. See, I missed that other corner. I got the dimension. Yeah, I really missed it. Okay, that's not a big problem. We'll just highlight it. Okay, and we'll bring that down to there. Okay, and we'll bring that one to there. Well, we missed it again. There we go. Okay, now we go move this line. Okay, let's turn ortho on so we're going in a straight line. Bring it over here a little bit. Okay, so that would represent the outside of our foundation. It matches the outside of our house. If we offset 8 inches, okay, that would be the inside of the 8-inch concrete foundation wall. If we offset 5 inches, okay, and then this one 5 inches, that would be our footing around the wall. Now, as we get into the actually drawing a house plan, I'll explain more about footings and foundation walls, and we'll do cross sections and showing how all of this works. Okay, so I would set up a layer called footing and a line type called dashed, and I would put the footings on that. And I would set up another layer called concrete and put the walls on that. Okay, the elevations. First thing I want to do is make a block. Okay, I want to call this block floor plan. Okay, I'm going to pick a point right there, and I'm going to retain my drawing, or my lines of my drawing, and I'm going to go pick point, select objects. Okay, I don't need the dimensions in my block here, but I want all of those items. Okay, I'm going to insert. Okay, I'm going to insert my floor plan. Okay, and I'm just going to put a copy of it right there. Okay, I'm going to get a little closer. I'm going to do what we call construction lines, or X lines. Okay, so XL for X lines. I'm going to say that I want to do vertical X lines. Okay, and now I'm going to pick on this point, and I'm going to pick on this point. I'm going to pick on this side of the window and the side of the window. Okay, escape out of there. Okay, you can see how those lines just keep going and going and going. Okay, and they're there for reference. I'm going to draw a line anywhere across here. Okay, and I'm going to say to myself in this elevation that that would be my ground. Okay, I'm going to offset 8 inches. Okay, so that would be the top of my concrete sticking out of the ground. Okay, I'm going to offset 10 inches. Okay, that would be the top of my floor joists. Those are the actual 2x10s or eye trusses that make up my floor. And I'm just going to say for now they're 10 inches deep. Then I'm going to offset 8 inches, or 8 feet, sorry. And I'm going to say that that's to the top of my wall on the first floor. Okay, 8 feet. I'm going to have an 8-foot high ceiling in this house. Okay, and now I need to trim. Okay, and I'm just going to select everything. I'm going to get rid of this, 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 and this. Okay, down here I can do the same thing. I get back into trim, I'll select everything, and I'm going to draw a fence. So F for fence, and I'm just going to draw a fence line right across those lines, and everything that fence touched, okay, got cut off. So fence from there to there, and fence from there to there. Okay, okay, so there I've got let's just take this ground a little bit farther, just so we know that it's the ground. Okay,